What's going on, guys? It's Picsoleated, and today we are looking at these colorful pair of kicks right here. I don't know how they decided on the color blocking for the shoe, but they must have had me in mind because this is exactly something I would wear. The shoe we're looking at is the magnificent New Balance 997H. This shoe has a lot of history behind it and we have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. The New Balance 997H released on February 2nd and has been praised for its affordable pricing. It's going for about $89.99 in the States and $119.99 here in Canada, which is very affordable relatively. This was a huge factor for New Balance to make this pair affordable, tackling the previously high barrier to entry for this sneaker, which is the price. The New Balance 997 without the H is particularly expensive, selling for upwards of $200 for the most part. The New Balance 997H is a revival of one of their most revered and iconic silhouettes, that of course being the 997, a model of the same number without the H as I mentioned previously. The New Balance 997 debuted back in 1990 to much critical acclaim and fanfare, and this can be attributed to the designer behind the shoe, Stephen Smith. The sneaker itself was a beast in the 90s for being a great running sneaker. Yes, people actually ran in runners like these back then. I know, weird, right? On top of that, vintage sneaker aficionados will always have a place in their heart for this model because who knows why, really. One thing we do know is that this sneaker has been revived and it meshes perfectly with today's sneaker climate. It's a dad shoe, it's got some vibrant colors that are futuristic but a callback to the 70s colorful palette all at the same time. It houses a thick midsole, raised heel, and a low angle nosedive taking toe box. That is really what most people are into. If you look at some popular sneakers right now, they have similar aesthetics. Does that mean New Balance was decades ahead of its time? Probably. We're jumping ahead here, and before we get started on materials, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Picsoleated, that's at Picsoleated, for fire sneaker content and future giveaways. With that out of the way, let's get into the materials. The upper of this shoe is made of several materials. The most prominent of them all is this white leather that makes up the toe box, the mid panels including the lace eyelets, and the N logo on the sides. We then have this white mesh making up the rest of the toe box. Then we have a splash of color here, which is navy. You can see this forming the back part of the toe box. We then have navy mesh creating the upper portion of the heel and the whole tongue of the shoe. The final splash of color we have is this deep non-millennial pink. Underlaying the N logo, it makes up the bottom encapsulating portion of the heel, the inner fabric of the shoe. The entire insole is pink and very airy, as you can see with the holes. Finally, we have pink text and 997 branding on the tongue label of the shoe and a pink heel pull with repeated NB New Balance branding, which I love that detail. We have this gray plush suede forming the rest of the heel counter. Then we have this nice juicy midsole, and I'm not sure what the cushioning tech is exactly over here that makes up this midsole, because with New Balance you usually get the name plastered right on it, but it is said that New Balance went back in the lab and started working on an upgraded version of the OG 997's fused C-cap and cap cushioning. This resulted in a lighter midsole and outsole profile, meaning simply that the shoe feels lighter on your foot, which I can assure you that it does. Now, while I go on with this review, the link is in the description if you want to check out the shoes and possibly buy them. Full disclosure, it is an affiliate link, so I get a little kickback if you do decide to buy them. It's not much, but it helps. When it comes to sizing, I got these in a size 10, which is my true to size. They fit fine, but I'm almost certain I could have fit a size 9.5. I almost always go a half a size down in every New Balance I've owned in the past, aside from the 530s, and the 997H is no different. I could have easily been able to go half a size down to a 9.5 in these. When it comes to comfort, honestly, I'm so glad I got this review out. New Balance sent me these a while ago. Thank you, New Balance, and sorry for bringing the review out so late, but now that it's out, I can finally make these my daily wear shoes. They're extremely light, comfortable, and will pop no matter what outfit you wear with them. Don't get me wrong though, if you're looking for the pinnacle of comfort or the most comfortable shoe in the world, there are alternatives, but if you want the jack of all trades, a comfortable, light, stylish shoe that won't bring you even close to breaking the bank, these are the ones. With a great performance and design history behind them, New Balance continues to peddle us classic designs, and we keep buying them. Why? Because they're incredible. New Balance adheres to the design principles of timelessness and incremental evolution, meaning their designs are built to last, and they have, even through all the trends that have come and gone. but they continue innovating in a more minimal, detail-oriented fashion, making sure their future designs are just as timeless as the ones before them, and brands love to work with them because they know this. One of my favorite releases in recent times were the Kith United Arrows New Balance and the Kith non-native New Balance 997s and the 997S Fusions. I think the willingness for these brands with world-renowned designers to constantly collaborate with New Balance on the silhouette through the ages speaks for itself. Now, if you're interested in the shoes, once again, I've left a link in the description of this video for you to check out. They're hella sexy and hella affordable, a combination you don't get very often these days. I for one love these shoes. I've been a fan of New Balance for ages and they're constantly churning out that heat. What did you guys think about the shoe? Would you prefer a different colorway? Let me know in the comments. Catch you later. Picsoleated is trying to find his balance.